Hello, Clarice.
It's alive! It's alive!
We accept one of us.
I kick ass for the Lord.
I want to play a game.
They're here.
It's showtime.
All right, everybody, welcome to the Three Basket Cases podcast. I am Jay, and with me is Frank and Peter. We are doing our first werewolf movie today. We are doing 2002's Dog Soldiers, and Frank is doing the walkthrough. So take it away, Frank.
Absolutely. Dog Soldiers from 2002. This movie opens up in Scotland. We have a couple on a camping trip. The girlfriend gives her boyfriend a small, like 6-inch sword made out of solid silver. I guess he's a writer. I don't really understand the significance of the sword. Do you guys have any insight on that as to why she would gift a small sword to a writer?
I knew it was going to come back, but I didn't know why it was there to begin with.
Yeah, I don't know. Is that a Scottish thing, or is that just a plot device?
I am not sure, but you had to know that the silver sword was going to come back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, fast forward to them. They're in their tent. They're making out, and they hear the tent unzipping from the outside, like slowly. And the boyfriend points his flashlight towards the door of the tent as it's unzipping. I thought the tension here was really good.
I agree. That got to me, particularly like he's unzipping her pants, and then he stops unzipping her pants, and it goes. The zip sound continues, and the zipper goes up on the tent. That got me. It's like to chill down me spine.
Yeah, that was very cool. And then the scene where you just see the zipper on the tent slowly moving up looked very cool.
Yeah. Yep. I was like, all right, here we go.
Yeah, I mean, right into it. Mm-hmm. Something growls and grabs the girlfriend by the legs. It kind of rips her open, and it's dragging her out of the tent. And the boyfriend is just left there looking completely stunned. He reaches for his silver knife. The camera goes to a shot of the moon. We hear a howl, and the scene ends. And I think we can assume that the boyfriend and girlfriend did not survive this.
Yes.
I would say that.
Now, does that count as a death, though, if I'm doing the body count?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, both of them they're gone.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So now it cuts to 2 hours earlier in North Wales. We see a man being chased through the woods by a group of men with dogs. They eventually catch up to him. He's fighting the men off, and another man puts a gun to his head and says, "Nice try, Private Cooper. You evaded capture for 22 hours, 47 minutes. You go straight to the head of the class." This man, Cooper, he's going to be our main protagonist, is played by Kevin McKidd, who's been on 385 episodes of Grey's Anatomy.
Jesus.
Oh my God! Wow, that's still happening.
Pretty famous.
Do you know who was supposed to take that role?
Yeah, none other than Jason Statham.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I guess Kevin McKidd had a cracked rib, and he kept it from the director until a couple days after, and he couldn't continue on, and they recast him with Jason Statham. And he ended up turning it down because of a scheduling conflict with Ghosts of Mars.
I think so. I think that I read that they cast him in it, and then it just took too long with production, so he had to go on and do it. I don't think he ever started, but I could be wrong on that.
No, it could be. I just saw scheduling conflicts.
Yeah. I don't think
he was doing
ever
Ghost of Mars. You're
made
right.
it to set.
Right. And then McKidd was rehired after his injury healed up. So now the man that was holding the gun to Cooper orders Cooper to shoot one of the dogs that was helping track him. He tells Cooper he's under his command. It's his direct order. Cooper, being a man of character, refuses to shoot this dog. The man with the gun tells Cooper, "What are you to my team if you can't even kill a dog?" And he fails Cooper and shoots the dog in the head, telling him he doesn't need a man of conscience on his team.
I think he set up pretty solidly as the antagonist for killing that dog.
I believe so.
Hell.
Yes.
Does the dog die.com? Yes.
100%.
Immediately.
And it was another good scene with a lot of tension in it. You know, you're like, is he really going to kill the dog? And he does.
Yeah.
Cooper gets sent back to his squad. And we go to 4 weeks later now in the Highlands of Scotland. We see a helicopter touch down. A group of soldiers come piling out. And all their guns have plugs on the end of them. So it's some sort of a training exercise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think they mentioned it was like blanks, but they had like bright yellow tips on the edge?
Yeah, they had blanks, but the tips were plugged up. We have Sergeant Wells. He's the leader of the group, played by Sean Pertwee, who, have you guys watched Gotham? The show from maybe 10, 15 years ago?
Mm-mm.
He played Alfred Pennyworth.
Okay.
Gotham was about the rise of Commissioner Gordon in Gotham. And he played Alfred.
Okay.
And yeah, he was really good in that too.
Good actor.
Yeah, I thought he was great in this. He's yelling out orders to the squad, and one of my favorite lines is I think Jay's got the soundbite here.
Joe, for fuck's sake, get off your big fat lardy ass and make like a soldier.
I wrote down a few of the other things said during this exchange. Do you have them, or do you want to hear them?
Go for it.
All right. So in this exchange where all the soldiers, these are some of the things said in that 5-minute span. Baldy twat, fucking plunker, tosser, full-on fucking fuckwits, twatter. That was my personal favorite. And then in response to banging some bird, mind you don't foul her in the penalty box, Sarge. And then a little later on, someone says a toppy-nosed twat.
Swearing sounds better when it comes from English actors, I guess.
They're more creative.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, it's classier for some reason.
Yeah.
It seems classier and funnier than American actors.
Yeah.
I think I'm just gonna swear like a trucker on this episode and not care. Unlike Friday the 13th Part 5, where I dropped the C-bomb and then I asked Jay to scratch it out later. So I'm just gonna go for it.
That sounds like a good idea.
Let's fucking go.
So we find out that on this training exercise, they are up against special forces.
If you paid any attention at all during the briefing, Kirkley, you know exactly who we were up against on this harmless little exercise, wouldn't you?
And who's that then? Special Forces, you plonker.
So it seems that we're going to get a reunion between Cooper and Ryan, who was the head of the special forces that shot the dog earlier.
Who is Davos from Game of Thrones?
Yes, Liam Cunningham. He played Davos in Game of Thrones, another kind of big actor in this movie.
But I like the delivery on the Davos. Like, I don't know, everything he says just seems compelling the way he talks.
Yeah, I want to do whatever it is he's saying. He's good. Good leader.
So Wells gives them instructions, tells the men that...
Now, as of this moment, as far as we're concerned, we are 50k behind enemy lines. Now, if we do happen to make a contact, I expect nothing less than gratuitous violence from the lot of you. Because we're firing blanks, it doesn't mean we have to be thinking nice thoughts. So you remember, you put the fire down, right? You get stuck in and you kick their fucking teeth out, or I guarantee you, Joe, they will be having your bollocks for breakfast, sunshine.
Hard-boiled or fried, Sarge?
Scrambled.
Cooper gives the Sarge a plan of attack, and they start to make their way out. I thought the soundtrack was really good in this movie, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, really, it fit every scene. Very dramatic. Really love the soundtrack. As they're moving out, Cooper makes mention of people going missing in the woods where they are and tells a story of the couple that we saw get killed at the beginning of the movie. As they're walking along, Captain Ryan spots them, tells his men to contact camp. Our heroes are camping for the night telling stories. The Sarge is telling a story about he and his buddy got tattoos together and how ironically he was blown up by mine and the only recognizable piece of his friend left was his tattoo that was on his friend's ass. I only mention this because I'm a sucker for stories in the middle of movies like this. Like
it
when
was
we were
well acted. It was well delivered. It reminded me of like in Jaws how he delivers that speech on the boat. And you know what? It's important.
I love it when we get stuff like that. Even in Grizzly, when we had the stories that Don was telling, I enjoyed those stories.
Yeah, I mean the Grizzly one I thought was good. Don had a good story in the middle of that movie.
Yeah, for sure. So as he's finishing up his story, a cow comes crashing down right in the middle of their camp. One of the guys starts shooting at it with blanks. That was kind of funny.
A little trigger happy.
They start making fun of this guy, Terry, for firing blanks at the cow.
Rightfully
so.
so.
I haven't seen this movie in so long. I was like, is this like Jurassic Park or something all of a sudden? Like, what could possibly have done that?
So the cow's dead. It has teeth marks on it. They discuss calling it in, and Sarge says to them,
There's no way I'm about to break radio silence because you lot got spooked by a dead fly fucking cow.
God, I wish I was Scottish.
Sarge sets up watch positions and decides to investigate in the morning. And we see Captain Ryan looking around some more, and then he gets attacked. It's morning now. They decide to backtrack where the cow came down, try to figure out what happened to it.
I guess. Why did they do that? Just curiosity?
That's all I can think, because they saw bite marks on it.
Right, okay, sure. It was odd, certainly. So yeah, okay.
For
Yeah,
sure. Like it
I
didn't.
think they
They were like,
explained later in the movie, like Davos was. I'm just gonna call him Davos. Was like, I knew you'd take the bait. I set that whole thing up.
right,
Okay.
and they were being tracked too.
Right.
Yeah, they were being tracked. They were only supposed to be there to lure the werewolves and get killed, I guess.
Right. They
Yeah,
were there
they were
under
the
the
bait.
guise of training, but in reality, they were bait for werewolves.
Yeah.
Right. So as they're backtracking, they see a flare shoot up into the sky, and they go to investigate the flare. They come across a camp. All the men in this camp have been slaughtered. There's guts everywhere, but they actually had real guns. They didn't get off a single shot at whatever attacked them. The heroes ditch their fake guns for the real thing, and they go to call in an emergency airlift, and Ryan pops out from hiding. He's freaking out. He's saying, "Help me. There was only supposed to be one. You have to get me out of here." And unfortunately, they can't find a radio signal to get an airlift out.
I like when he keeps saying there was only supposed to be one. They did not follow up at all.
With a
no
question?
Yeah, no further questions. Like,
Yeah.
All they needed to say was one what?
yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Because clearly something killed everyone. What was that?
Yeah. And nobody bothered.
No, nobody asked a single question.
Don't worry about that. Cooper says that Ryan and his men have all kinds of weird gear. They have tranquilizer darts. They have nets as if they're on a safari. During this, they found the transmitter in one of their own radios, so they were being tracked the whole time. They hear some howling, and they start to quickly make their way out from this camp. One of the men sees something, but his gun it continues to misfire. He takes off running, and maybe in the most unexpected death, runs right into a fallen down tree limb.
Yeah, I definitely didn't see that coming.
Went right through him. I mean,
Right through his chest. It's like, holy shit.
That was Bruce Campbell, named as a tip of the hat to Evil Dead,
Right.
who
How
got
about
branch
that?
through his body. But I did like the claw reflection in his eye as he ran through the branch, and you kind of look up and you're like, oh, that was stupid. And you're like, oh, okay, there was a werewolf there as well.
Oh, I missed that.
Right.
Yeah. You see the claw reflection, and then I guess he twisted it in half or something. I don't know.
We see a werewolf moving through the trees. The guys are under attack now. Sergeant Wells gets his stomach ripped right open. Cooper finds him, and they have a pretty funny exchange.
Oh, Jesus! My guts are out, Coop!
Well, we'll just put them back in again.
They're not gonna fucking fit!
Of course they'll fit, man.
Of course they'll fit. He's right. How will they not? They don't expand when they leave your body. I don't think.
It's like when you buy a new product, you can never get it back in the box.
That's true. Like a shrink wrap sleeping bag. You might be right.
And I mean, imagine how that feels, just having somebody shoving your guts back into your stomach.
Not great, I'm imagining.
You don't want that.
No.
So the guys are moving along. They're shooting back the werewolves. They're trying to get away. I think the suspense is great. The music is great. And the acting is great this far.
And the glimpses of the werewolf is really good too. They show just enough. You're like, oh, that's cool, but what is it? You know what I mean? Like the lighting of the shadows and how they kind of dart up behind a tree. You see it for about a half fraction of a second. I thought it was very well done sequence across the board.
Yeah, I feel like any longer, and you probably would have been like, that looks stupid, because it seemed like kind of a low budget movie. But the way they showed it very quickly, it looked cool and scary.
Yeah, agreed.
Right. And they didn't keep us in the dark about what was going on. We knew it was werewolves from the beginning.
Yeah,
They could have played it really close to the chest and made you wonder what was going on. But they were like, no, we're going to give you glimpses here and there. We're going to show you it's werewolves. It's dangerous. They're under attack.
Although the people under attack are still in denial about it being werewolves, like 85% of the way through the movie.
I know.
Yeah, really.
What is it you're not following here?
Yeah. Even the female lead was like, I can't explain this any clearer. Like, it's a werewolf.
Yeah, remember you just saw it?
Yeah.
What did you think it was? We see a Jeep going down the road. One of the guys falls down in front of it and kind of stops it. The woman driver tells the guys to get in. They pile in. The werewolves are trying to get in. She gets the Jeep finally going, and they drive off to, I guess, supposed safety.
Mm-hmm.
The scene doesn't make a whole bunch of sense in the context of what happens later on. But
So, what do you mean?
well, I mean, because we find out about her past. And what is the point of her trying to save them? She could just drive away.
And they would be, yeah, you're right. Actually, I didn't think about that. Yeah, she just to kind of tag him along and then try to kill him at the end, would just kill him immediately, right?
Right. Or just, if she wanted out, and as she said, though they were her only hope, Well, why were they her only hope? She was in her Jeep. She could just drive away.
Women driver joke?
I don't know. Like, what?
I'm clearly going to crash this car because I'm a woman driver. So
I can't be trusted to drive down this road.
you're my only hope.
At night? No. Maybe she was conflicted about her family of werewolves and also her inability to drive.
Well, some from column A, some from column B.
Perhaps.
She drives them to a nearby farmhouse. She knocks on the door, says she doesn't know where the owners could possibly be. But she does.
Yeah.
They break into the house. A fire is going. There's food on the table. There's water boiling, but no one is there. They do find a dog.
No, again, no questions.
No, none at all. They make themselves at home and try to make sense of the situation. Captain Ryan, who seemed to be on death's door earlier, he's in better shape than he was.
Mm-hmm.
He seems to be in a lot less pain.
I didn't realize what was going on at that point. I thought it was.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I thought it was just. Captain Ryan.
Right.
I thought you meant the guy with the guts.
No, but they were both,
Better
badly
than they
messed
should have
up.
been. Yeah.
Right. Yeah,
I didn't know
Ryan,
it was a werewolf thing that you would heal quickly, so it was a little bit lost on me.
I always assumed that you would just heal quickly.
A werewolf?
Yeah.
Maybe. I didn't
Yeah, I
know
think
that.
so.
But I didn't know the werewolf lore is. I guess it's like a zombie where if you get hurt by a werewolf, you now are a werewolf.
Yeah, if you get bit by a werewolf, you become a werewolf.
That I knew.
But neither guy got bit. They got scratched.
We don't really know
Transfer
what happened to
blood?
Ryan.
Is it like AIDS?
I think Ryan said he was bit.
Well, it's not. Did he?
Yeah, he did. But as far as
Well, it's not a vampire.
far as Wells, I don't know that. Well, who cares? Yeah,
Yeah, whatever. Just they become
You know what? They become werewolves, and it's fucking
for
cool.
whatever reason. It's I'm not gonna argue with you. They do, and it is.
They decide to have the girl take them to the nearest town. However, by the time they get back outside, the werewolves have destroyed her Jeep. The werewolves are already around this farm, and they're watching their every move.
They also the military guys shot her Jeep up and exploded it.
Well, it was already ripped
Hopefully.
apart. Yeah, it was her car.
Yeah,
But at the same time, it was incapacitated. I mean, the engine was ripped up.
Yeah, it was already fucked because all the werewolves.
Right. They couldn't use it.
Okay.
Yeah.
The werewolves immediately try to get in. And the dog they found in the house earlier is pulling out Sarge's intestines. But the scene was originally meant to show the dog pulling on the bandages.
That's what I thought it was, the bandages.
But it was staged to look like intestines
Oh,
for
okay.
dramatic effect. But I always thought, until I read that fact, he was pulling on his intestines.
I
I
thought it
thought
was
so
the
too.
bandage.
And then there was a commentary that I read. The director, the actor said it is the bandage.
I've seen this movie a dozen times, and I always thought it was in his intestines, and I was like, that is gruesome.
I did too.
But apparently it's just the bandages. But I'm going to always believe that it's his intestines. I don't care what they say. Captain Ryan's about to shoot the dog, and one of the guys throws up on Ryan's head.
I mean, if there's one thing Ryan likes to do, it's shoot dogs.
He really does.
But not werewolves.
No.
Cooper ends up taking charge and orders the men to set up a perimeter, clear firing lines, and all that stuff. Ready some boiling water. And Ryan is rapidly getting better at this point.
Yeah.
From when they found him.
This is the part where I knew he's going to be a werewolf, but I didn't know why. I didn't realize that because I thought he just got scratched on his chest.
Right.
There's not a
This
lot of
point where
werewolf
one of them
movies,
says-
so I'm not up on the werewolf lore. There's not a lot of werewolf movies.
Yeah,
There's
I
not.
didn't really know. I just kind of went with it. I didn't realize that either. Like other things are obvious.
And like half of the werewolf movies are just howling movies because there's a billion of those.
Right.
There's only like 5 that are worth a damn.
Howling movies?
I'd argue one.
Yeah.
No. I mean, listen, Howling 3, the marsupials is gold.
Good God, don't pick it.
You don't want to
Makes a
hear
dog
about
from shit to bone.
You don't want to hear about Australian marsupial werewolves? My
I
God,
don't think I do.
you might. The Howling 2 has Christopher Lee in it. Come on.
Yeah, it's got Sybil Danning in it too, but
Sure
got
does.
Nice boobs, but that's where that ends.
Cooper and the woman that saved them, they have a talk. She tells them that what they encountered were not entirely wolves and not entirely men. He's having trouble believing her. For some reason.
Why? Why?
Don't know.
You
Don't know.
saw them.
I like
should
when
be
they're
like, holy
describing the
shit.
description of werewolf. The guy's like, "You mean like full moon, silver bullets, and eyebrows that join in the middle?" That's in his head. That's the description of a werewolf.
Right.
Spoonie or something that said that.
I didn't get the eyebrows part.
Neither did I.
I guess
Apparently
that's
that
just
must,
a way of saying hairy.
Yeah, I think so.
or maybe when the werewolves are in human form, they have unibrows.
I think it was just a very complicated way of saying hairy.
See, in my head, I filled in the blanks like, "Oh, every werewolf has a unibrow," and I found that entertaining, but probably not.
That's the tell when they're in human form. They're all Anthony Davis.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. She starts to say, "I know how to kill them," but is cut off by Sergeant Wells screaming. They ignored her saying this. It just goes by the wayside. And
never
Cooper
come
asks,
back to it.
Yeah,
Never.
never.
She's going to give you the blueprint on how to kill the werewolves,
Or whatever they are. We haven't figured it out yet.
I'm not sold
whatever
yet.
they are.
Right.
And
Didn't
gets
they
cut
have an
off.
arm
They
at
never
this
go back.
point? They cut off one of the werewolves' arms.
Oh, I was praying that we would get to see the arm.
Yeah.
They cut the arm off, and I'm like, oh, we're gonna get to see a human arm, and they're gonna realize, like, holy shit, that's a man's arm right there. But we never got to see it.
They're like still not convinced.
They're busy, man. They're busy. They're not thinking straight.
Cooper asks her to get some super glue and some whiskey. They take Sarge upstairs to the bedroom and patch him up. They get Sarge drunk, which I guess he actually was drunk for this scene.
Right.
Yeah.
He did take several drinks before the scene was filmed.
Yeah.
And then Cooper explains the super glue was developed during the Vietnam War to patch up wounded soldiers. A nice little factoid in the middle of this.
I think it was too. I actually looked it up. They did use it.
Yep. Yeah, that is true.
Seems implausible, but okay.
It seems like a perfectly reasonable explanation.
You think they
I
would
was
use
like-
that in their marketing campaign? It could stitch up his stomach. It could definitely do whatever the hell you're trying to do at home.
It can help you with your kid's stupid little project.
Right.
Put popsicle sticks together. Put this guy's intestines back in.
This guy's arm was reattached after standing on a landmine.
This guy's head came clean off. Super glue all around
Super
the thing,
glue.
but right back his head, right back on his shoulders. Super glue. Wow.
No better ad campaign.
No.
Cooper ends
Nice
up
and right
knocking
now.
Sarge out
Goodbye.
so they could actually patch him up. And apparently he threw a stage punch the first time. Cooper did, Kevin McKidd, but misjudged the distance on the second and actually caught him on the nose.
Oh, nice.
He didn't feel the punch though because he was
drunk.
actually drunk.
I actually read too on this. Everybody on the set really got along very, very well, and all the actors in the commentary said of all the movies they've done, they've never had an experience like this. The camaraderie and everybody was just in it together, and there was no egos, and people were watching each other. Like a lot of times in movies, you just kind of watch your own dailies and your own. But everybody watched everyone, and they had suggestions, and it seemed like it was. And to this day, everybody was like, that was one of the best experiences of my life. which
Was
is
it because
kinda
they were
cool.
all drunk the whole time?
No, I think it was only he was drunk. I think it was just
that's
the
even
the
funnier.
passion of this guy making this movie, who was very influenced by like the Evil Dead and those movies, and the movie's in development for what, like 6 years. It was like 95 he had the idea, and they sat around drinking at pubs forever, and they eventually it was a labor of love. It reminded me of the Evil Dead a little bit, how that kind of came about.
Mhm.
So when he punched him in the nose, other movies, people might have been pissed off, stormed off set, but this guy's like, yeah, all right, yeah, fair enough, yeah, salty twat.
Well, you could tell in movies like this compared to other movies when the cast actually has a good relationship with each other. Everything just flows together.
Yeah, and the girl, the
it
chick
seemed
there,
like they all had a good relationship. It was believable.
yeah, and
I
they
don't
got
think
there
you could.
a week
I don't think you
early.
could get that without them actually caring about each other.
I think so. And they got there a week earlier than her, and she was the outsider. And they said, that I think they said that might have been intentional. Like they built this really strong bond, and they went through some army training and everything. And then they brought her on a week later, and they already formed this bond, and she's the one girl. But they were really nice to her too, and they said she was great as well. Like to hear that, because a lot of times people and actors have reputations for being, disingenuine
Yeah.
twats.
Yeah, sure. So the girl
Anyway.
Megan is her name. Tells the guys that they're up against werewolves. Cooper then starts to question Ryan, and Cooper actually sees a picture of the family that lives in the house up on the mantle. So, little foreshadowing, I suppose. Cooper mentions that Ryan is looking pretty good, and he was on death's door maybe like a day ago. And Cooper opened his bandages up on his chest, and sees that his wounds are almost completely healed at this point. At this point, the werewolves cut off the power to the house and start to attack again. They're shooting at the werewolves. They're trying to keep them out. One of the guys is grabbed by the collar, and Cooper cuts his hand off with the sword, what we were talking about earlier. And we never got to see the severed human hand later on, which was, I thought that was a little disappointing.
I think it reminded me of Aliens too, when the guys like cut the lights. Great. There's a couple lines that sort of mirrored Aliens, in my mind.
Well, from what I read, they put in a ton of, like, almost every line's a reference to another horror movie. They just went overboard, and like every scene is a reference to something.
And the fact that they were able to do that and have it completely be their own movie is really, kind of a talent.
Yeah.
Cooper goes upstairs now to check on Sergeant Wells, and one of the werewolves is in the room with him. I had to note, it was an interesting werewolf design, and it looked almost alien-like to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, super long legs.
Super long limbs on it. I mean, super lanky and tall. And the way they moved, I believe they had like ballet dancers.
Yeah.
As the werewolves. And I think it comes across. I mean, just the movements are so unnatural, but they're also super imposing because they're so tall.
Yeah.
I think they're on 1 foot. They got tall people, and then they put them on 1 foot stilts.
Oh, very
at that
nice.
height. They're about 7.5 feet. But yeah, they're all dancers, so they wanted them to be lyrical and, just kind of creepy and a contrast to what you'd think.
I thought it was effective.
I did too.
Yeah, the bedroom scene was probably the scariest scene of the movie for me.
It's like a Slender Man does Cirque du Soleil or something. Actually a good idea, patent pending.
So Sergeant Wells wakes up, and they shoot the werewolf back out the window. The attack ends, and we see a POV shot from a werewolf looking at them from the outside. Terry, one of the soldiers, has his back up against the window, and he says,
"Dogs. More like pussies."
This part got me a little annoyed because they're supposed to be trained military people, and he has his back to an open window when they're under attack.
I agree.
Didn't even think of that, but you're right.
It's all I could think of. I in this movie, the one criticism I'll have is if I was in that situation, I would say, all right, you lot, follow me. We're going into a windowless bathroom or room, and everyone's going to sit with a gun pointed at the door. There's no windows. Just hunker down in an area where there's one entrance and have your gun pointed at that entrance.
I'm not even a trained military person. I'd know not to have my back to an open window when you're under siege. Like, it seems like common sense, but I guess they got to pick them off a little bit. So that's how they do it. But
they're not in the house yet. So
yeah.
Well, Terry gets pulled out of the window, and he's dead. Well, we think he's dead. Megan goes over to the window and cuts herself on the glass, and kind of gives her wound like a curious look. I guess we kind of come back to that a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, what's something interesting about that scene, I read in the commentary, is when she cut her hand, they played a piece of the score from a movie, The Company of Wolves. They lifted it directly from that movie as an homage to it, but also suggesting that, okay, she is a wolf.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
In The Company of Wolves.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's a nice little Easter egg. If you were familiar with that movie and you heard it.
I wish I could say I wasn't. I researched it. I haven't seen The Company of Wolves in like 25 years, but I do want to watch it again.
So the men start to refortify the house. Megan states the only hope they have is daylight, and that is 6 hours away at this point. Megan and Cooper are talking. Cooper figures out that she and Ryan may know each other somehow, and she admits that she was part of his group on the first visit that they had made. Apparently, they've been researching these werewolves for some time. They wanted to capture one of them and bring it into research. They then go over how much ammo they have left, and they just kind of have to wait.
So we should say
controlled bursts.
Yes, I was just about to say, he was saying 3-shot short controlled bursts.
Short controlled bursts.
Anytime the werewolves show up, they unload an entire clip instantly.
I'm like, watch your bullets, mate. Come on, the whole movie. I'm like, it's like I did that with Aliens too, though. I was like, guys, take it easy. It's gotta last.
Well, that's why they were on a training mission. They don't know what they're doing yet. Megan looks outside and can see the werewolves, and then looks at the barn. She tells them that the family keeps an old Land Rover out in the barn. If they can hotwire it, they can use it to escape.
He's just saying that now.
Right.
Okay,
Joe volunteers to go out and do it. Another guy, Spoon, goes out to be the decoy. He lights a flare, starts screaming for the werewolves to come get him. They take the bait. Joe runs out to the barn, Joe hot wires the Land Rover, turns the headlights on, only to see that Terry is still alive. And he's being eaten alive by a werewolf. And Terry's reaching out for him. And that's when the werewolf bites his head off and tosses it back at Joe.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, very cool scene.
I had a hard time telling who was who. Is it all Scottish people look alike? Is that racist?
Well, he was also like pale and covered in blood. I just assumed that was the one guy that was missing.
Just got pulled out of the window.
Yeah, fair enough.
Joe backs the Land Rover up to the house. Everyone is preparing to get in, but then we cut to Joe and we see like steamy breath coming over his shoulder.
Love that.
And one of the werewolves is obviously in the back of the Land Rover at this point. Joe goes right after him.
Well, at first he's like, "You're right behind me, aren't you?"
Yeah.
It reminded me of Jurassic Park, like clever girl.
He goes right after him and gets killed immediately.
Yeah. Some scrappy motherfuckers, man. These guys.
But he's got balls.
Yeah, it's like, what if you're gonna die, go die. Yeah,
right.
Die fighting. So I appreciate that.
No doubt.
The rest of the crew comes out the door and they open up the back door of the Land Rover and the guts are just like pouring out, like the blood is pouring out. The werewolf's in there. Megan shoots the werewolf, keeping it out of the house, keeping it from coming in after them. So now they're kind of fucked. They're waiting around, and the only people we have left are Ryan, Cooper, Spoon, Wells, and Megan at this point. Everyone else is dead. Ryan tells them that they were there to get one of the werewolves to bring it in so the military could study it. He tells them he set up a training exercise and used them as bait. Cooper and Ryan, they start to fight, and Ryan finally turns into a werewolf. As we knew he was eventually going to.
He seemed to know he was
behind the table, right?
Yeah, he went behind the table, and that he.
Yes.
But at first his eyes like turned yellow, and then he went under the table, and then he like rose up as a werewolf. He seemed like he knew he was about to turn, though.
Yeah, I think he knew it was happening. There was a scene earlier where he was looking in the mirror, and you could kind of tell that he knew it was going to happen.
Do they have control over this? Because it reminded me a little bit of like Ash in The Evil Dead, how his transformation to a zombie or not was more circumstantial to the plot, and it kind of seemed the same here as well. Do people have control in your mind when they turn into a werewolf?
I don't think so. I think it just becomes so
plot-driven,
overwhelming. I think it's like.
It seemed like whenever anybody got really angry, that's when they turned.
When did Teen Wolf turn into a werewolf?
When he was playing basketball.
Only when he's playing basketball, Teen Wolf turned into a werewolf?
I don't know.
No, he turned once in the bathroom.
Why?
Puberty.
Yeah, puberty. And then
Really?
And then they were losing the game because Chubbs was their point guard.
Well, that would turn anyone into a werewolf.
We should do Teen Wolf one of these episodes.
You're right.
Teen Wolf 2. There's probably 7 more of them that are like in Indonesia or something. But I thought it was interesting too. The director said that he didn't want to do the transformation scene because it's been done to death and no one can beat American Werewolf in London. The director, every producer said that. Like, no one's touching that. We're not even going to try it. We don't have the budget for it. And it's been done. It'll just be an inferior thing.
Right. It was a $2 million budget.
Yeah. £2 million.
No, £2 million.
So.
And it was all practicals.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was no CGI in this movie. So, I mean, to make a really effective transformation scene would have cost a lot of the budget.
I think it was pretty effective having him go behind the table and having it get quiet and then having him rise up. I thought that was cool.
Although it's funny, they're leaning in like, what do you think? He's not going to turn into a rabbit. I mean, right. Get your guns loaded, get ready to rumble.
Maybe shoot him before that.
Yes.
I
liked how the claws kind of scratched down, the table, and then he dropped down. I thought it was well done. You don't need a giant transformation if you're just doing things well.
Yeah, if it's effective and it's done well, you don't need it.
And it's 2002, so CGI was a mixed bag at best. The practical effects was the way to go, and they killed it for that budget.
Yeah, I think this was around the time Cursed came out, another werewolf movie. I think that was a Wes Craven film.
It was. I've never even seen that.
And I remember it being pretty bad, and it was all CGI. Or at least the majority of it was CGI.
Yeah.
Anyway, Cooper stabs Werewolf Ryan with a sword, and it's like sticking through his chest. You can't kill a werewolf with just anything. It has to be silver. And they shoot him until he runs out of the house. Cooper figures out that the werewolves are actually the people that live in the house that they're in at this point.
So they're just trying to get back to their own home.
Right. They're trying to get back into their house.
Little Goldilocks-ish.
Right.
And also not.
So the men go looking for silver, and of course they can't find any because, what respectable werewolf is going to keep silver in their house?
I just like how they're going through like spoons and it's like, what are you going to do even if the spoon is silver? What are you doing with
Right,
that?
they pick up a turkey carver,
So Megan tells them she thinks they're all held up in the barn, living as a pack, moving as a pack, blah, blah, blah. And they decide to blow the barn up. Sergeant Wells tells Cooper he feels absolutely fantastic at this point. A day earlier, his intestines were hanging out. He feels great. And he realizes it's a problem because he's going to be turning into a werewolf at some point. He volunteers to go blow the barn up, and Cooper won't let him. Basically, like, you're part of the team. You're not going to go kill yourself right now.
We'll wait for when we have to kill you, like an hour from now.
Or 4 seconds from now. We don't know. You don't even think the director doesn't even know at this point.
Cooper drives the Land Rover up to the barn. Sarge comes running out of the house with a Molotov cocktail, throws it at the gasoline trail. It goes out to the barn, and the barn explodes. And they celebrate for like literally half a second. They're like, "Hell yeah, we did!"
Cool how he threw that torch though. That looked awesome.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah.
Megan looks at Cooper and says, "I'm sorry." She thought they were her best chance at getting out, but she tells them there is no out anymore. There is no house in the next glen. There were no werewolves in the barn when it blew. And we find out she's not in the photograph because she's the one who took the photograph of the family.
Dun, dun,
She's
dun.
part of it. And she tells Cooper,
But now you're out of luck and I'm out of time. And all we can do is let nature take its course. They were always here. I just unlocked the door. It's that time of the month.
That's a little bit like Ingmar Bergman, or it's like a 30s movie. Who's that woman? Ingmar Bergman? Ingmar?
Ingmar?
Ingmar Bergman? You know what I'm talking about?
I know who you're talking about.
What the fuck? What's her name?
Ingrid Bergman?
Ingmar Bergman. I don't know. She sounds like a 30s actress in a 30s movie when she delivered that line. She sounds exactly like Ingmar Bergman.
Ingmar Bergman.
Is this the new Henenlotter?
Ingmar Bergman.
People's names are what I say.
Goes
they
down
are.
smooth. Megan starts to turn into a werewolf, and Sarge shoots her in the head before she could fully transform.
I thought that was funny. You thought it was going to be this big fight, and he just blows her away right away.
It was perfect.
I don't get why she
Outstanding job.
saved them and then decided to sabotage them.
But that's the thing. That's what
That herself.
That's what I didn't understand from the beginning when she picked them up. When she could have gotten in her car at any point and said, "I'm going for a pack of smokes," and left. What did she rely on them for? Why was she helping Ryan try to capture them? Like, the family would have known that she was helping Ryan. So I don't, that's where it kind of gets muddled.
Yeah.
And if she's going to escape, she is a werewolf. So where's she going to go? Is she going to go maybe like Caroline in the City or something and get a job in PR? I mean,
Team up with
She
that
could be-
college Frankenstein.
right.
It could be like the Howling 3 and she could get a job acting.
Apparently.
You're kind of making me want to see The Howling 3 now.
Yeah, fuck, I gotta watch that now. Great. And
Incredible transformation scenes.
Stay tuned.
Let me tell you.
Was it claymation or something?
Maybe worse. Maybe better. I don't know. The werewolves are all in the house. She opened the door. The werewolves are in the house now. They start battling again. Spoon is trapped in the kitchen. Spoon starts fighting hand to hand with the werewolf and ends up kicking the werewolf's tooth out, and the tooth goes flying, and it flies into a piece of wood and just sticks there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I
That
missed
was
that.
great.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That was great.
I read also that the werewolves, when there's a couple of them in the room, they were on the stilts and they practiced, but they didn't put the heads on until they were actually filming. So then they put the heads on and they realized they had no peripheral vision at all. So they're like knocking into each other, falling on the ground. It was like a whole Three Stooges thing. So they had to realize how it does and like really kind of track the scene because it was hard to see. And those things are heavy and expensive.
Spoon is now stabbing the shit out of one of the werewolves. He's going absolutely nuts. He's throwing anything he can get his hands on at this werewolf. But unfortunately, another werewolf appears and picks Spoon up by his throat and shoves him up against the wall. And Spoon says,
I hope I give you the shits, you fucking wimp.
and spits in the werewolf's face, and the werewolf kills him. And that's the end of Spoon.
He did a better job than I was expecting.
It was admirable. He held his own.
I thought it was going to be like a 3-second fight.
Yeah, he really held his own. It was good.
And then he went crazy shipping the guy, at the
Right.
end, just with the pop, 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 pop. And then originally in the script, there's 2 werewolves supposed to come and rip him in half, but for some reason they didn't do that. I don't know why.
Budget, probably.
If he did that, maybe he wouldn't have been able to deliver that line. And I like that line.
Yeah,
and I like how he spits in the werewolf's face.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a werewolf has any problem with spit.
Well, yeah, of
oh,
course.
yeah, gross. Come on, Spoon.
It's just like one last defiant thing before he gets killed.
Yeah, no doubt.
Like he just like none of these guys went down like pussies. They just all went down with a fight.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a great line that says, "We're gonna knock 7 colors of shit out of these fuckers."
Yeah.
as they started fighting. I thought that was a great
Right. They went right after him. I love that.
Me too.
Cooper and Sarge are trying to just stay away from the werewolves upstairs. They go upstairs and they kind of break into a separate bedroom, and they go into a dresser, like a stand-up separate dresser. It, for some reason, has a bunch of human remains in the bottom of it.
Yeah.
It's like The Conjuring.
I don't know why those were there. Maybe previous owners. I have no idea. But either way,
they have them as They had people as snacks, and they drop the bones. And I don't know. Yeah,
I don't know. They shoot downwards, like blowing a circle in the floor, and they drop down into the kitchen, and they find Spoon's remains, and then they find a cellar door that they previously hadn't seen. It would have been a good place to hide out, I guess, but they find it now. Cooper goes down into the basement. Sarge at this point is starting to turn. He can't hold back becoming a werewolf at this point. And he sacrifices himself by cutting the gas line to the stove. And he's trying to light his lighter. And as he's lighting the lighter, he's trying. He gets the lighter knocked out from his hand. And for a split second, you're like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Like, there goes the whole plan.
Yeah.
But then he slams his hand into the igniter on the stove, and you see the little spark, and the entire house blows up.
And he took out
werewolves
3
blow up.
werewolves.
I thought it was cool.
Yeah. Yeah, another badass death.
Yep.
Yep.
So now we're with Cooper in the basement, and of course, the last werewolf is Captain Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
And we know it's Captain Ryan because he still has the sword sticking through his chest.
Yep.
I missed
And
that.
a really unsettling moment is when he has Cooper's head and he's shoving the sword into his mouth, and it's just grinding on his teeth.
Mm-hmm.
And you get the scraping of the sword on his teeth, and it's horrible.
It's the worst part of that. It like that totally trumps anything from Tokyo Gore Police, I think.
Right. Because you can almost feel it. It's like nails on a chalkboard.
Yeah. I can't even, like, if I bite a spoon, I can't even deal with that. So this was like, oh, God, no, please not that.
And Cooper breaks free, though. And Sam, the dog from earlier that was pulling on Sarge's intestines, or his wrappings, starts barking at Ryan, the werewolf. Cooper finds the small silver sword from the very beginning of the movie and stabs Ryan with the sword and then shoots him in the head. And we fast forward to morning. It's morning, and Cooper and Sam the dog emerge from what's left of the house. It's just rubble. And roll credits. And then, but I didn't mention earlier, we get a closing credits scene with all black and white photos of the werewolves because they were using a camera's flash to kind of scare the werewolves off. Apparently the bright light would kind of make the werewolves back off.
Yeah.
So they were taking photos throughout the movie trying to scare the werewolves. And in the credits scene, we get to see all the photos that were taken with this camera.
It was like
awesome.
It's like the end of The Hangover.
Yeah.
That's
You're right.
awesome.
I
And
thought
then the
that
house blew up. I guess it was a miniature, but they were destroying things as they go. I thought it was interesting that they shot this in sequence. So, they kind of screwed things up. They would destroy rooms. They're like, oh, that's all right, we're done. We're moving on to the next thing, which I think really kind of added to it, making the whole thing a little bit more real.
Yeah.
So this is directed by Neil Marshall. And I just wanted to put in, he directed The Descent, which if you guys have seen that, it's a good movie. 2 episodes of Game of Thrones, 1 episode of Hannibal, one of my favorite shows of all time.
Really? Okay.
I love Hannibal.
All right.
To me, Mads Mikkelsen is Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah, he's
I'm
good.
sorry, Anthony Hopkins.
It's all right.
And 1 episode of Westworld.
Okay.
So Neil Marshall's done some admirable work.
Yep.
Absolutely.
It grossed 3.5 to 5 million worldwide against a £2 million budget. So a modest success.
Okay.
And that's it.
But it went on to kind of become a cult thing, and there was talk of sequels, but they didn't really pan out for whatever reason. But yeah,
I guess there was supposed to be a sequel where Cooper was in a mental asylum
yeah,
after this, and there's a werewolf turning people in the asylum, and he has to get out.
and there was talk of even like a series too, TV series, but nothing played out for whatever reason.
Which might be for the best.
I think so. I mean, this is pretty goddamn good.
Just real quick, I'll do the body count. So the body count was 12. That's 8 humans and 4 werewolves.
Did you count the dog?
I did not. So 13, 8 humans, 4 werewolves, and a dog.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to count the dog.
Yeah.
Did you count the cow?
No.
You count the cow?
All right, let's not go nuts here. Let's
All right.
let's leave it at 13.
I'll start. No one else wants to.
Sure.
Yeah, go for it.
I thought this movie was fantastic. I thought that I haven't seen it in a while. I just thought I liked all the characters. The action sequence were good. It was a great combination of, batshit, but yet grounded. It moved along very quickly. The special effects, I'm a sucker for practical effects. They were all incredible. Having like 6'5" dancers on stilts gracefully move around, and just the way it was, and everything about it. I'm going to give this my highest score that I've given a movie thus far, which I think is it's tied. I want to give it the highest score, but I think I rated Hereditary a little too high, but I'm going to match it at 4.25.
Wow. I enjoyed this movie. I thought there was a middle sequence that was a bit slow, where they're all kind of just sitting around a table and chatting and like waiting for things to happen, and it's kind of getting a little bored there. But I thought the initial attack with the werewolves I thought was really intense and really cool. And then the final wave I thought was really good. Again, when you mentioned part of it where they shot in the floor and went down, but there was also like a part where they went in the bathroom and he like broke through the wall and they went from the bathroom into a bedroom, and they're kind of being chased like throughout the house and making their own pathways and stuff. And I thought that was really cool. I did get a little confused with the plot of why they were brought to the house and then set up to die. I guess you don't really need too much of a coherent plot in these movies, but I would like one that makes sense. But overall, I enjoyed this movie. I would watch it again. I can't go as high as Peter. I'm gonna give it a solid 3.
Okay. For me, the direction, it moved along quickly for an hour and 45-minute movie. The score was outstanding. The practical effects, incredible. Looked great. The only thing I have to ding it for is the motivation of Megan on why she would bring them to the house in the first place. That's really the only thing I have to take points away. The characters were all, I gave a shit about our main characters.
Mm-hmm.
And even though they're fighting against werewolves, Ryan was the main antagonist. He was more evil than the werewolves were. So you had different forces against each other. Megan was kind of neutral.
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't really a bad guy. She wasn't good. You had the clear good guys. There were a lot of different elements and people you could root for against. Yeah, really well done. The werewolves look great. I'm actually matching Peter's score with a 4.25.
Wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's the second straight movie where I'm the odd man out.
Yeah, I thought it was fantastic.
Just
a
on the
little
opposite end.
claustrophobic, but I loved it. That was fantastic.
And for what, there weren't many different sets.
Mm-hmm.
No.
It all took place in one small area, and it was done effectively.
Yeah.
They saved money on that and put it where they needed to, which is all of the werewolves.
All right, so it's Peter's turn to pick a movie.
Oh God, I gotta.
Pressure's
on.
on.
Rolling around in my head, so I'm just gonna say what we're gonna do is we're gonna go with 2007's Hatchet, the original Hatchet.
Okay.
You seen it?
I have, yes. I actually watched the trilogy last year. I didn't watch Victor Crowley, the fourth one, but I watched the first 3.
Is the Victor Crowley the one where they're on the plane?
Yes. And Felissa Rose from Sleepaway Camp is in it.
Is she in it? Okay.
I heard the fourth one's really bad.
Yes. It's not good.
Okay.
I haven't seen it in a long time, and I saw it when it first came out, and I was like, you know what? It kind of was doing things that other things weren't doing, and I remember liking it. I don't know if it holds up, so I'm kind of curious.
Okay.
I can't go with another 80s because I keep doing that.
All right, this will be our third straight 2000s movie.
Back to the 80s soon enough.
Yeah, I guess that's it. Thanks for listening. We are 3 Basket Cases on all social media. The number 3 Basket Cases. And if you want to email us, 3basketcasespodcast@gmail.com. And we will see you in 2 weeks with Hatchet. Goodbye, everybody.